what we have up here, our natural assets are abundant. And my hope is that, through exploiting these a bit in a good way, that people have more exposure to it and they have more access and ability to come up and enjoy what we have up here.
Dan and the Delaware, his passion for the outdoors and how you can experience the river too. Welcome to Pocono Mountains Podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Jim Hamill. This is Season 5, Episode 11. The custom outdoor adventures that Northeast Wilderness Experience, or N.E.W.E, can provide are the perfect way to get the full experience of what the Pocono Mountains has to offer. You might recognize Dan Corrigan's voice from the previous stories about the Delaware River sojourn on PTN, or even more recently, Dan was featured in exploring state parks in the Poconos, playing some disc golf at Prompton State Park. Dan's love of the outdoors is infectious in a good way. And Diana went on the Delaware with him recently. More from their day on the River of the Year in just a bit. The Poconos is a year-round destination for millions, with 2,400 square miles of mountains, forests, lakes, and rivers. With historic downtowns and iconic family resorts, it's a perfect getaway. You can always find out more on PoconoMountains.com or watch PTN, the Pocono Television Network, streaming live 24/7. Now, back to the episode. Northeast Wilderness Experience can help you buy gear, rent it, or even just experience the outdoors in the Pocono Mountains. Dan and his crew have campgrounds on the Delaware. They outfit summer camps and groups all season long, so say hi when you see them on the river and enjoy.
Northeast Wilderness Experience helps their guests connect with the outdoors. I'm here with owner Daniel, whose lifelong passion for the outdoors kind of became a mission to share with others. So Daniel, what sparked your passion for the outdoors?
From a young age, I've always been passionate about the outdoors. When I was a young guy, I started a bike shop in my basement of my house. And then as a teenager, I was hired by a local company called Northeast Sports, where they did bike mechanics. They did sales of outdoor gear. Really kind of got my passion going with that. And they also began programming while I was there. So while my tenure at the bike shop, we started doing climbing programming. We did kayak programming, rentals, basically what we're doing now. Yeah. But I started that in high school. And from there, it just kind of grew. And look around us. I mean, it's hard not to be passionate about what's around us.
So from childhood to adulthood, you kind of brought your passion along, and now you want to share it with everyone that comes to Northeast Wilderness Experience.
Correct. Our passion really is also in youth programming. We do a lot of youth programming and beginner programming. A lot of people that are, well-versed in this don't need guides and don't need, people to kind of hold their hand. So for us, the most reward is getting people into this, seeing that spark, getting the passion going, and really giving them a safe, good environment and, well instructed to how to do it properly so that next time they can have a great experience as well.
And I love that you not only offer everything that people need, but you have the guided tours, you have the rental, you sell. So you're a one-stop shop.
Correct. That's, I think one of our biggest assets is that we're not just a company that sells the gear. We're not just a company that rents the gear and sends people out. We actively use the products. We're out there with them. So we can really talk about, what their user experience is going to be, pitfalls of the events that they're doing, things to watch out for. And any outdoor program is only as good as your preparation. So if you're not prepared to do these, you're not going to have as fun of a time.
I'm excited. We're going to get on the river today. Speaking of the river, Absolutely. It was voted River of the Year.
Yeah. So this has been another great honor for the Delaware River. I think it's been about 10 years since we got River of the Year last. And it's great. It opens up some funding for marketing for programs that we do, and specifically the Delaware River Sojourn, which is a great program. This is the 30th year of the Delaware River Sojourn. We have been doing the livery and outfitting for the Sojourn for 16 years now. So we've been really involved with this program. It's a passion project of ours. Every year they use different locations and we do different sections. We have the upper, the middle, the lower, and the tidal that we program in. And this year we're fortunate enough to actually have the entire Sojourn at our campsite for 3 nights. So they'll be up here camping, having fun, campfires, singing, everything. So we're really excited.
That sounds like a good time.
It is, yeah. It's absolutely a great time.
All right, should we go check it out?
Absolutely.
All right. So the Sojourn is a huge part of your business. Tell me about that and how it's become such an integral part of it.
It is. So our second year in business, we got approached by the Sojourn to provide rentals for them down in the Philadelphia area. They had nobody to provide rentals. So they approached us and we said, yeah, we'll go ahead and we will do the rentals for you down there. And it was a great experience. So after that, into the second year, I said, I'll do this again, but I want the whole thing. Yeah. So from that, it actually, for our company, was a real, big piece of our growth in the initial, stages of our company and getting off the ground. From then, we have created partnerships, friendships, lifelong friendships in this program. It's the great thing about the Sojourn is that it connects people with nature, but also the community of camping and kayaking. There's a lot to do with sustainability, environmental protection, history along the way. But they also get to learn a lot because on the Sojourn, it's a guided program. The National Canoe Safety Patrol provides support and safety and programming on the water itself. So during that time, people can learn how to properly paddle their boats, how to deal with rescue scenarios if they tip out of the boat, management. And then again, like I said, environmental responsibility is a big part of this program as well. So for us, again, it really helped us grow. It challenged us in a way. They said, well, we got to move 10, 120 people downriver every day and move in and out. So for us, again, it was a challenge on how to facilitate that and grow with it. But, at this point with the Sojourn, people show up the first day and let's say they're a through tripper, which means they're doing the entire program. They show up the first day, they give us our boats. They don't touch their boats the rest of the trip. We transport them the entire time. We bring them to the beach. We set them up for them. So
it's like concierge service.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's one of the biggest, challenges of paddling and water sports is really moving your equipment. So taking that part of it out of it for the Sojourners takes a lot off their back, allows them to enjoy the camping section more, not have to worry about gear management. So that was a big improvement in the Sojourn itself. And from there, we've added trailers, vehicles, and we've just grown. And because of the amount of support that we've given the Sojourn, the numbers have gone up also. Wow. So it's made it a more attractive program for people as well. So it's been a great, part of our program, part of our growth as a company. And again, the friendships we've made, they're lasting. It's a great program.
And I love, like we were saying, how can you not love the outdoors and be connected to it? And the river, it's such like a peaceful Zen place. I don't know if it is for you, but I know when I'm in nature, it's just like, it kind of just takes me, helps me unplug, helps me connect.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's one of the driving forces for myself and, our employees and my wife to stay in this. Because it's challenging. We work outdoors, we are beholden to the weather. And it's not always great. So we have to kind of move and maneuver and come up with contingency plans a lot. Just this week, we had a program scheduled, but with the rain coming and everything, we have to move things around. So it's been a great program for us, being close to nature, being able to commune with nature and have that kind of solace, kind of counters the stress of what we do. And for me, every time we're on the river, it never gets old. That's a great thing about nature, and each season it's constantly changing. So you always get kind of a different view, a different vibe. Even if the water height goes up in the river, it's a different paddling experience from when the water was down. So every time we're out, we get a new opportunity to have a different experience. And for me, seeing eagles, the birds, it just never gets old. So every time I'm out, I'm always, I can't even count how many at this point that I've spotted and seen over the years. But those things just never get old for us.
So you were saying you have kayaking, canoeing?
We have kayaks, canoes, rafts, river tubes for our water sports. We also have paddle boards as well. We have tandem kayaks as well. So if people want like the kayak instead of tandem canoes, they can go in tandem kayaks. We do mountain bike rentals. We do backpack rentals. We do multi-day backpack trips as well. Like I said, biking rentals that we do. We do hiking programs, climbing and rappelling programs. So we do a lot of, basically if it's outdoors, we will get into it. Yeah, absolutely.
They have something for everyone.
That's right.
No, I love that because you're utilizing land and water in all your experiences that you're giving to your guests.
Correct. And we really try to have the primitive model. Our campsites, no running water. We do have spring-fed water and water sources. We don't have electricity. Everything's serviced by Porta-John. So we want to keep the camping and camping, the outdoor experience. There's a lot that you can find in yourself when you challenge yourself and you get out of your comfort zone. And that's what a lot of our programming is challenging you, getting out of your comfort zone, understanding how you can grow in that as a person and also physically within the program itself. So it's part of the dynamic of how we do our programming. We want you to be a little bit uncomfortable because once you get through it, you have this great feeling of accomplishment. And then next time you do it again, you say, oh, I can prepare better for this next time. So.
Well, if there's no challenge, there's no change, right? So it's like you do that for your guests to help them unplug because the no electricity, it makes you really connect to Mother Nature.
Correct. And depending on the provider, you may or may not have service.
Well, that's good sometimes.
It is, yeah. On our trips too, especially with the school kids, we don't allow them to bring electronics. Even radios on the river. They have the waterproof, boom boxes. Now, we don't let them go on the river because we're constantly inundated with outside, entertainment and influence. When we're on the river, like if you can listen in the background, you hear the birds chirping. Like the wind blowing through the
Yeah.
trees. That's what we want to hear, because nature makes its own music, the river makes its own music, and that's what we want people to really connect with.
I mean, it's kind of in your name. You give them an experience.
That is our goal. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. All right, let's see what you got going on.
Right on.
Tell me what your guests can experience when they come to Northeast Wilderness Experience.
So expectations, one of the things we are is we are a custom guided company, custom built company, custom experience company. So one of the things that makes us different is we don't generally have, kind of boilerplate cookie cutter programs. If there is a type of program that you want to do or type of experience you want to get, we'll work with you to try to match that and create that experience for you. But a typical weekend for a family could be coming up on a Friday night, setting up camp, getting everything set, having their first overnight experience. And we even offer a service. If you're not really that adept at making campfires, we'll set a campfire up for you, have things prepped for when you arrive. We can even offer renting tents to you. If you don't have tents, we can accommodate tents at the sites for you. So we really can do a full service, kind of build up for you if this is new to you. If you've had the experience and you know what you're doing, again, come in, get your site set up. The following day, if you choose to do a river program, again, we can set up longer trips, shorter trips, so we can kind of modify where we put it on the river to match the type of experience that you want to get. Morning wake up, get through your morning thing, breakfast, everything, and then we would get a meetup time, and then whether you want to raft, kayak, tube, we'll set you up in the type of watercraft that you want to get in. And again, if you want to get off the water at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, we'll kind of match that to the type of program you want. Walk you through and then set you up. We'll give you the guidance, and you can either do it guided or unguided. If you want people with you on the river, we can set up that guiding service as well. And again, teach you how to paddle, teach you the do's and don'ts, what to do on the river, how to get down the river effectively and safely.
I was gonna say water safety is important.
Our main concern is safety. Second is fun.
Yeah.
We are a mandatory use life jacket company. We not only encourage, but we really enforce people to wear life jackets. It is a very, very important cause to us. There's a lot of unnecessary accidents along the Delaware River and everywhere in our region because people don't quite respect the river the way they should. There's a lot of misunderstanding of how it runs. It is a very safe river, but you have to take the proper steps to make sure that you have a great trip.
Speaking of guided tours, I know you do group tours or family tours. Solo? Do you do solo guided trips?
We do. We had a couple people last year that were doing national park tours, and they were just a solo person that one person take them down the river. So we'll absolutely do that. And then just a week ago, we had over 300 attendants for 4 days doing a multi-day hiking and rafting program and camping and overnight. So really, depending on what you want to get out of it, we can accommodate it. We do have some limitations, but we do a lot of work with, like I said before, school trips, programs, class trips. We have a number of schools that come out of New York City, and we do overnight programs and trips with them as well. So just depending, again, we're a custom company. You can go on our website and just kind of do some of the boilerplate stuff, but when you get on there, our hope is that you really connect with us and describe to us the type of experience that you want to get.
And community is important too. I feel like you're saying school trips, and so that's a big thing for you?
Absolutely, yeah. I was born and raised in Honesdale. I absolutely love the region that we live in, the surrounding areas. So I've gotten very involved in the community in the aspect of, outreach to youth groups, working with school programs. And again, what always kind of was a surprise to me, and even myself having grown up here, there was years before I got on the river, years before we had this asset in our backyard, and there's so many people that don't have access to it. So even in our school programs, if there's kids that can't afford it, they can't go, we make sure that they go on the trip. We want them to get that experience and be a part of it. At the end of this week, we have Damascus area and Preston School on the river. So again, we work locally. We have Forest City coming out. We work with the Wallenpaul Pack. They actually have rentals on the lake right now. It's part of their phys ed program. So that outreach to community is a big part of what we do. I'm also involved in the Lackawaxen River Trail Group based out of Honesdale, where we're getting access to the Lackawaxen River and trying to create trail systems. What we have up here, our natural assets are abundant. And my hope is that, through exploiting these a bit in a good way, that people have more exposure to it and they have more access and ability to come up and enjoy what we have up here.
I always say you don't have to go far. So it's literally in your backyard or just a short drive away to come enjoy the Delaware River, the Pocono Mountains. It's just, what would you not want to do? It's like, you look around and it's like, how do you not want to come out and experience this?
Yeah, we're so fortunate with what we have up here. Our company, we've been in business for 17 years. There's a lot of people that don't know about us. because we mostly focused on private large group programming. So now we've started to turn things over and kind of have more of a public face. But we've always been set up to accommodate small groups as well. And our hope, again, is to get as many people out as possible and give them a good introduction to nature. And what we like to have is responsible recreation. Most of the Delaware River is all lined with private property. Same thing with Lackawaxen River and a lot of the waterways and different trail systems that we use in Northeast PA. So it's important for a lot of people that do visit the area to understand how to recreate responsibly. Because if we start to ruin those relationships with private property owners around, it's going to make for a bad experience for everybody. So different than some areas that have a lot of state parks and a lot of town. We don't have as much of that up here. But we do have a lot of great access to waterways and trail systems. But again, responsible recreation is where we like to focus.
I'm excited to get on the river today. It's such a beautiful day out.
It is. It's nice when it's a little bit overcast because on the river, there is zero shade, right?
Yeah.
This is one of the things we always talk about. On the river also, you get that reflective light too. So if it's a really sunny day, plan for a lot of sunblock, for a lot of sun exposure. But a day like this, when you're on the river, you're working out. So you're building a little bit of heat. So this is a nice kind of chill thing when you have a nice weather like this.
All right.
Northeast Wilderness Experience, or N.E.W.E, a true ambassador for outdoor recreation in the Pocono Mountains. Learn more at PoconoMountains.com. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. We'll have a new episode each week, highlighting lots of the fun things you can experience while you're visiting the Poconos. Subscribe and leave a review and/or comment on whatever platform you listen.
It's the Pocono Mountains. We're in the fun business. With our fabulous water park resorts, when things are heating up, we're cooling you down. Our cutting-edge attractions are just so much fun, both indoors and out. You decide. Then completely unwind from that fun-packed day. 3 great water parks, all in one awesome place. The Pocono Mountains. It's in Pennsylvania, the great American getaway.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. I'm Jim Hamill. Now for a Pocono Mountains Podcast Extra. Back in 2021, episode of Pocono Mountains Magazine, we talked to Dan and others during the Delaware River Sojourn, which heads downriver all next week, culminating with a River of the Year festival in Minisink Park on June 18th. Hopefully we'll see you there. More info is on our website, PoconoMountains.com/events. As for that annual Delaware River Sojourn, here's a listen back to our story from 2021. Enjoy. Hi again, it's Jim Hamill here along the Delaware River. Across the river here is Lackawaxen, and this right here is the Roebling Aqueduct Bridge, a piece of history here along the beautiful and scenic Delaware River. And for years now, folks have come up this far, even higher north, to take a journey all the way south through the Delaware Water Gap for the annual Delaware River Sojourn. And we wanted to take you along for part of the journey. It's bright and early on day 3 of the Delaware River Sojourn 2021 at the Northeast Wilderness Experience campground north of Honesdale. And these sojourners are getting ready to get back on the water.
Welcome to the Delaware Sojourn. You've come to one of the most beautiful places, in my opinion, in the world.
Dozens of paddlers have set out on the annual journey downriver to commune with nature and one another.
Super relaxing. I didn't actually realize how relaxing it was until I was in the kayak, and I was just like, wow. It's like the breeze, the gentle rocking of the kayak, and I was just like at peace.
Daniel James from New Jersey says he was itching to get back into a kayak on the Delaware and is so happy he signed up for this experience of a lifetime.
Definitely got to put it on your bucket list. Definitely on your bucket list, like soon to be crossed off.
Can you raise your hand if you're brand spanking new here today?
Following a safety briefing, canoers and kayakers made their way to the launch site, heading out on a 9-mile trip with Class 1 rapids. Stephanie and Michael Jerome are from the Philadelphia suburbs and are relatively new to the Sojourn.
We're just getting out to see a river with no construction roads, not hearing any motorcycles and cars, seeing the bald eagles. It's been phenomenal. It's so peaceful and tranquil out here, and I think everybody needs to take a little of this in every once in a while.
Stephanie's dad is the veteran of the family, having gone for the Sojourn for many years, and he keeps coming back.
Just the natural beauty around here. The upper Delaware, it's not very settled, so it's pretty primitive. And you see eagles and deer and you meet great people up here too.
Let me know when you're ready, Andy.
When it was finally time to get moving, Dan Corrigan with Northeast Wilderness Experience was there to see the Sojourners on their way, just like his crew is for the entire week's journey.
The neat thing about the program is there's a lot of people that have been doing this program a lot longer than I have, in 20 years plus they've been involved in the program. Then for us, being in here the last 10 years, we've met a lot of good people, a lot of great friends we've made along the way, and we do get a lot of new people as well.
The Sojourn paddles by day and camps riverside by night. Keeping the river natural and pristine is one of the missions of the Delaware River Sojourn and those involved year after year, to continue building those bonds between people and nature.
And the conservation of the river corridor up here is super important to us. In the upper part of the Delaware, we really don't see a huge amount of people up here all the time, so when you are on the river, you're out here a lot of times by yourself, or if you are with a group, there's no other groups around you, so you really do get a sense of privacy along with the kind of an intimate relationship with the river when you're out here, so it's a nice thing to have.
Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network on the Delaware River. Delaware River Sojourn, embarking for a week of paddling on the River of the Year next week here in the Poconos. We hope you enjoyed Pocono Mountains Podcast. Please remember to subscribe anywhere podcasts are available. Come visit us in the Pocono Mountains. Plan your trip today.